Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I am Mick Alphanine. Okay, so let's start right here. We're going to jump right into it today. I just finished a members only video so I can't remember the skit I was going to do at the beginning of this one. So let's just jump right into the article. This is on coinedition.com and it's titled XRP General Counsel Lashes at SEC Chairman's Statement. I want to say this before we go read this little tidbit and go deep into this article. Has it occurred to anybody that, I don't know, it seems like Mr. Gensler has been a little bit off lately. Usually I consider Gary Gensler a worthy opponent, but some of his backtrackings, some of what he says, it doesn't make logical sense. And I'm asking myself, is he okay? This is not a joke. Like, is he okay? He's usually mentally very sharp, but as of recent, I don't know. Some of what he's been saying and doing, it's just not logical. I'm actually kind of concerned about Gary Gensler, like, you know, just as a person, not for what he's doing against crypto. I want to destroy him when it comes to that, but as a person, something's wrong. Let's read this little tidbit here. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission Chairman Gary Gensler has been making the rounds on the internet for his controversial statements. You see what I'm talking about? And they have been, because they haven't made any sense. He says one thing last month, then he says something new this month. Earlier today, Gensler misstated. And that's another thing, you know, they're going to say he misstated it. Did he? Earlier today, like, does he know what's going on? I'm concerned. Earlier today, Gensler misstated the Supreme Court test to determine what is and isn't considered security. The statement refers to the ongoing battle between Ripple and the SEC. The general counsel at Ripple, Stuart Algorand, slammed Gensler for misinterpreting. Was it on purpose? You see, like, you have to consider all these things. Was it an accident? Was it on purpose? I take it as it's on purpose. But who knows? Slammed Gensler for misinterpreting a U.S. Supreme Court test to determine what should be a security. Here's a little tweet from Mr. Algorand. In today's Senate Banking Committee hearings, Chair Gensler misstated that the Supreme Court test to determine what is and isn't a security. Was it intentional? Oh, okay, so he said the same thing I'm saying. Okay, this is the first time I'm reading this stuff, guys, so I'm in it just like you are. Was it intentional, or does he really not know the law? That's what I'm saying. This is concerning. Government, other government officials, other regulatory entities, you're not going to do something about this? You're not going to question this? Then you wonder why the people of the world think that you're snakes in the grass. This is unbelievable. It's outrageous. This is who we have controlling crypto, who wants to dominate crypto. Who wants to dictate? He doesn't even know. No clarity. He doesn't even know the law. Either that or he deliberately did this and should be held accountable. Then he says, which is worse? Algorand, we must be family somewhere down the line, a fifth cousin or something. We think very similar, sir. Algorand took to Twitter to question the basis of his statement. He further added that if Gensler made the remark deliberately or unintentionally, the answer to the tweet was left for his followers to debate, of course. Furthermore, several crypto enthusiasts raised eyebrows. They should. At the credibility of Gensler's statement. No, at his credibility. Not of his statement, of his credibility. Hold them accountable just like we hold everybody else accountable. After digging in, it was revealed that Gensler does not hold a degree in law. It doesn't matter. He's supposed to provide regulatory clarity. Then he needs to know these things. Not only that, doesn't he have advisors? I'm sure he does. A myriad of advisors, both provided by the government as well as he probably can hire his own advisors. I mean, look how much money he has in Vanguard. So there's no reason for him to not know. He has to know. If he doesn't know, remove him and let's get somebody in who does know. That's going to lead me to this next article. Thank you for hanging in there with me. Sometimes I joke around. Sometimes I'm a little intense. I'm different on different days. Just like you. I just admit it. But that leads us to this next article. Get a load of this. This is from LBRY Library. I've enjoyed a lot of content on that website for a long time. They put out a tweet, and this is what it says. It says, yesterday, Gary Gensler testified the SEC would need another 10 years before they could release public rules on blockchain. What? Nope, nobody's going to do anything about this. It's just us. We're the only ones making calls. Just the Bankcoin people. We're the only ones calling the government. Right. But you want to continue to make money. You have to fight these people. You have to send emails and make phone calls. Sometimes show up at an office. You want this money or not? Everybody just sitting back. This is a fight. This is a war. This man wants to wait 10 years of no regulatory clarity. 10 years. This can't be allowed. No. Let me read it again. This is what Gary Gensler is saying. Now, keep in mind, the reason I'm keeping up with the LBRY case is because it can have a great impact and set a precedent. If they have a positive outcome, it can have a great positive impact on the Ripple case. And their case is going to end before ours is. That's why this is important. This is yesterday. Gary Gensler testified the SEC would need another 10 years before they could release public rules on blockchain. Meanwhile, the CFTC is ready to go right now. They're ready to do it right now. Then it says, make no mistake, Gary Gensler is out to destroy cryptocurrency in the United States. That's from LBRY, not from Alphanine. But I agree. This is insanity. This is the West is in trouble. The West is in trouble. It's my humble opinion. It's too much corruption. They're in trouble. This is why so many people are leaving the West. They're going to Europe. They're going to Africa. They're going to Latin America. And doing very well, I might add. They're doing good. Very, very good for themselves. They're going to Southeast Asia. They're doing very well. Meanwhile, the West is on a decline. A self-imposed decline. Let's make that clear. Self-imposed. So, then there's another tweet from LBRY. It says, this means that if you had a baby when the first Bitcoin block was mined, the baby would be old enough to drink before the SEC plans to publicly release blockchain rules. That puts a lot of things into perspective, right? Unbelievable. So now let's move on to another bit of information here. This is from the Faster Payments Council. Things are starting to speed up. Now, keep in mind, the SEC is a rogue element within the government. So it's not all elements of the government that want to hold DLT back. There are a lot of elements that are pro distributed ledger technology. And so there's been a battle going on. We know that, just like inside the central banks, there was a battle going on for a long time. It seems that now the bullish side of the battle has won, and DLTs will be utilized by a myriad of banks around the world, for sure. Before there wasn't as much certainty. Okay, so now they're having to rush towards CBDCs and national digital currencies because they understand that the system is in trouble and that the bank coins, the technologies behind them, can save the system. So we have this here from the Faster Payments Council. The Faster Payments Council, who is now working on the digital dollar. You know, Ripple is on the Faster Payments Council. Apart from that, you have Hedera, MTech, HBAR is working on the digital dollar as well. We'll see how all that works out. We adjust accordingly. But this tweet was put out by the Faster Payments Council. The hashtag Faster Payments Council is pleased to announce the addition of Philippa Wilson to the FPC Board of Directors, representing the Payment Network Operators segment. Representing the Payment Network Operators segment. They are beefing things up. They are beginning to give themselves shots of steroids, so to speak, in the anticipation that they're going to make this big push towards the digital dollar. Not only that, not only they bring in Philippa Wilson. Listen, first of all, they're bringing in big muscle. They're bringing in power. Why? For the big push. They're going to have to make the big push. They need the digital dollar because they need that control. They need the power, especially if they're going to go against BRICS nations. They need that power. They also put out this tweet here. Faster Payments Council. The Faster Payments Council is pleased to announce the addition of Elspeth Bloodgood to the FPC Board of Directors, representing the technology provider segment. Oh, they're about to do a whole lot of outreach. There's going to be a lot of development coming. There's going to be a lot of news coming out. They're starting to power up. Isn't it interesting how the Faster Payments Council is powering up the same time that Stellar is powering up? There's a lot of connections going on. A lot of connections, in my humble opinion. This is very good. This means hold on to your blazers, strap in. Things are going to be speeding up dramatically. I say it once again, I think 2023 is going to be a massive year for the bank coins. Massive. Across the board. Let's go here. Algorand is always doing something massive. I love Algorand as a company, 100%. The ROI is going to be insane, but they're a great company just outright. This is Algo and Meta Boundless. Let's go. I don't want to say it like, let's go. Like, I don't want to do it like that, although we could. No, we're not. I have to keep people all balanced. I have to keep you guessing what I'm going to do next. You never know. You never know what Alpha Neem's going to do next. Boom! You never know. Oh, I got somebody out there who's like, oh, Alpha Neem. You never know. Price could explode at any time. But they're doing a concert. It says Concerts of the Future, a step into the metaverse. There's going to be a lot of money coming out of that metaverse. Algorand is deep when it comes to music. So why wouldn't they also take some of that concert money? A lot of times the performance money is better than the album money. That's why you have a lot of superstars, a lot of celebrities, music artists. They are constantly on tour. Don't get me wrong, the album money is pretty good. And as they get into selling their albums as NFTs, it's going to be even better. However, that concert money is very good. We definitely want that high volume, high value flowing across Algorand. And I think they can take a lot of that. This is a step in a great direction. So it says Concerts of the Future, a step into the metaverse, October 20th. 2022. So there you have it. If anybody watches that, come back if you can. I humbly ask, come back, report to us what that experience was like. Was it good? Was the stream good? But I think that this is a step in a great direction. We're dominating in every possible way when it comes to Algorand, and I'm very happy at their direction as of now. Let us know how the concert is. All right. So here, let's move on here. This is from Hashpack, Hedera, HBAR. Once again, it says interested in metaverse and Web3 gaming. Here's some cool projects building on Hedera. At Lithos Entertainment, a new AAA gaming studio founded by award-winning game creators. This could be very, very good. Then it says at Creamy's NFT. Creamy's is a collection of cute Korean-inspired NFTs and games. I think we're going to see rapid expansion into the gaming markets. We're going to take a lot of that money. The gaming money is very, very good and it's consistent, by the way, especially with in-app purchases. That's only going to increase with NFTs. The value is going to be insane on some of those. And I think a lot of major entities will get involved in this as well. And with what they offer, the value of those NFTs in their games will be insane. So this is definitely good for Hedera, HBAR, I think. And I look forward to seeing what more they can do with things of this nature. So then also, you have this here. Remember, they're going deep. When it comes to HBAR, I think they're going to be doing a lot of work with governments, and we already know they're getting in deep with the banks and such. But because I think one of the aspects that makes them very unique is they were the first, I believe, to be carbon negative. A lot of the bank coins are carbon neutral. HBAR, I think, has always been carbon negative. So they were in a great position, and their scalability is second to none. Hashgraph is far superior to blockchain. Keep that in mind. Their scalability is insane. However, because of those aspects, I think that they will do well when it comes to carbon management, carbon tracing, and carbon taxes. That's going to be in there. So you have things like this here. Open Forest Protocol, hashtag OFP, is going to hashtag Climate Week NYC Blockchain Summit, hosted by friends. Then it says here, what is DMRV and why does the voluntary carbon market need it to scale? So this is where they're beginning, in voluntary markets, but later on, trust me, it's not going to be voluntary. If you look at what some of the states are doing, where they're saying, hey, we want to get rid of gas-powered cars. What did they say by 2030? What? Wow. Or what? Maybe they were more specific. I'm remembering now. I think they're saying the sale of any new gas-powered cars. I think that's what they said. But it won't be voluntary for long, is what I'm saying. It's going to be mandatory. So something like this, and being able to have an immutable ledger tracking everything, they're going to need it. I think Hedera is going to do well at that, in my humble opinion, especially with their governing council. The governing council is not to be flaunted. I think a lot of people think that. They say to themselves, I've read it personally. People saying, well, what's the point of the governing council being so powerful if, they're not using their names? Most of the big deals happen behind the scenes. Does it matter if the public hears about it? All that matters is that they use the technology and close the deals. They can close the deals behind the scenes, and when they have something to show the public, then come out and say, here, this is what we have. That, I think that's the more professional way and a better way to do it. They're constantly in meetings, and it's just a matter of the mass adoption of these things. But that happens through sitting in multiple meetings, multiple briefings, signing on the dotted line, memorandums of understanding, and the development of very specific infrastructures. That's another thing. Every company is different, so they will want that DLT to operate in a different way from maybe another company that might adopt that same technology. So that makes it take a little bit more time, but that's done behind the scenes. Nobody cares about the Lambo engine. Well, many people don't care about the Lambo engine. They just see the outside of the Lamborghini. But there's a whole lot of work that goes on behind the scenes that makes the Lamborghini function, and that happens under the hood. It's not seen, is what I'm saying. The unseen is at times, most of the time, I believe, the unseen is more powerful than the seen. That governing council is going to come in handy. H-Bar Hedera, in my humble opinion, not financial advice, is going to explode. And that governing council is one of the reasons. The outstanding technology is another. So H-Bar is up there. And when you're talking about, the top bank coins that can explode the hardest, easily, without great difficulty, Quant is up there. Cello is up there. We already seen Cello go parabolic, 2-3 times. It already happened. Look at where the price is now. It'll easily go past all-time high. Quant is there. Its utility, all those banks, low circulating supply. Cello is there. It can take off so easily. It took off based on retail last time. It's one of the few bank coins I can't say retail doesn't move. No, with Cello, it does. It does. Can you imagine if Cello lands any CBDCs? So Quant is up there. Cello is up there. H-Bar is also up there because H-Bar has good volatility. It had okay volatility. It wasn't anything insane, but we saw that it does move. So imagine when the banks start using H-Bar, it'll move even more. The volatility will come in handy then because it can skyrocket easily. Right? So those are the three that I keep in mind when I think about an absolutely insane explosion. Okay, so now let's move on to here. We're going to close out with this here. I'm trying to keep this video a little bit shorter today. This is from Stellar. They've been bringing a lot of heavy hitters onto the Meridian platform. They've also been sitting with a lot of government officials lately. You saw them at the Senate before. My goodness, it just an explosion of activity at Stellar. You've seen all the mergers, right? Them forming Voltron, and now you have this. This is welcoming the Deputy Minister of Digital Transformation of Ukraine to our Meridian 2022 speaker lineup. They're packing this with heavy hitters. They're showing you the direction they're going in. Never forget also at Meridian, that very same Meridian, they're going to have the head of the CFTC there. Okay? This is going to be a massive event. It says join us in Rome October 11th and 13th. So somewhere in October, hopefully we're going to get some transcripts. Hopefully we're going to get some PDFs or a blog post informing us of what came out of this. I don't know if they're providing a stream for this. That's why I say that. I don't know if they're providing a stream. If they are, then we definitely will give it a look-see. And, you know, hopefully I think we're going to get some good, really, really good information out of this. It's the season of information. This is when most of the companies are putting out a bevy of information, just like last year. And so far, Stellar has not disappointed at all. So now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? Hey, I have a very, very potent members only video I filmed before I made this one. You need to watch this one. You need to watch this one, okay? What I'm covering in here and what they're talking about can touch everyone across the world. So I'm trying not to give too much away. It's an impactful one, a potent one, okay? Click that little join button below, get in the members only section, and you can watch that video. So now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. So until next time, let's get to the money.